Okay. Good morning to everyone. My voice is audible. My voice is audible.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall we start? Uh, shall we start the session? Okay. Welcome to online webinar on MATLAB and its engineering applications. Okay. Good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Principal C. Dr. S.M.V. Narayana Garu, Annamacharya Institute of Science and Technology, Rajampeta, and respected HOD Srimati Dr. M. Padmalalita Garu, AITS Rajampeta, and Dean Professional Bodies Dr. B. Abdurrahim Garu, and coordinators Mr. O. M. Keshwulu Garu, AITS College and teaching staff, and my dear participants. Good morning to everyone. Thanks to Annamacharya Institute of Technology and Sciences, Rajampeta, you give me a wonderful opportunity to organize a webinar on MATLAB and its engineering applications, and it's matter of honor to me. And on behalf of the entire Ekala group of technologies, we would like to thank the today's whole ATS Rajampeta team. And about our Ekala group of technologies. An Ekala group of technologies established in the year of 2019 with a prime motto of imparting quality education in engineering. From a small institution with just a handful of students in the year of 2019 in Tirupati. The institution has grown by leaps and bounded and established itself as one of the leading institutions in Andhra Pradesh. And ECLA Group of Technologies offers the 6 weeks and 6 months industry training or internship for BTech and Polytechnic students for ECE, CME, EEE, IT, and mechanical students, and etc. Our expert trainers impact practical knowledge to share their experience and prepare to students their experience and prepare the students for technical world. All these activities are done in the training sessions. And students also get the work on live projects. And we assistance to enhance the job placements and also given the support for more confidence and exhibit the problem solving skills and gain the industry experts and gain the industry experts during the training period and training helps to student to learn the new technology and stay them updated market with the demand and marketing them the aware of the new development and discovers and develop the skills and require the become employable. An A-Club group of technologies can handle the academic projects and research projects related to various technologies for different disciplines like UG and PG. An A-Club group of technologies has been implemented and developing the innovative projects in engineering by providing the complete explanation and information. And A-Club group of technologies provide the innovative engineering skill development solutions for A-Club engineering students and who are interested to learn advanced technologies in various domains like VLSI, embedded, IoT, Python, artificial intelligence, and etc. And today our resource person is Dr. Om Prakash Yadav. Yadav, good morning, sir. And he completed his PhD in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, State Government of Technical University, uh, Chandigarh. And he is worked as a professor, researcher, and examination cell, NBA, NAC, IPSC coordinators. And he contributed for research in signal processing and machine learning and optimization and latex. And finally, I would like to say, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. And this session hand over to our resource person. Please, Dr. Om Prakash Yadavji, take this session.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Suresh. May I know whether I am audible to you all or not?
Your voice is audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, before starting, I am really very thankful to Annamacharya Institute of Technology and Sciences, and along with that, Eklavya Group of Technologies for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge over MATLAB and its engineering applications. So I am really thankful to the management of both the organizations, and I hope you all are staying healthy at your homes because of this, lockdown and Corona. Everyone is supposed to be at your home. So I wish everyone is healthy at their native or at their homes. So let me start this session. This session will be basically, it will focus over the MATLAB and its engineering applications from Eclipse Group of Technologies and Annamacharya Institute of Technologies. I came to know that the mostly participant for this webinar are from EEE branch. So for this particular session, I have chosen a field that is differential equations. So throughout the session, we'll be dealing with basics of MATLAB, where basically we face problem while solving the while writing the scripts and functions. And first part, in first part, we will cover the basics of MATLAB and how where we are actually getting problems. And second part of this session, I will focus more over differential equations, how to find out solutions of differential equations using MATLAB, because this tool, ODE tool, I can say ordinary differential equation tool, will help you to find out solutions of differential equations which you have encountered in your, I think, in your wave equations, that network analysis and synthesis subject, and so many subjects where you can find this lecture will be useful to the participants, where you can utilize this MATLAB knowledge to solve any type of differential equations. So before starting, let me tell you the basic applications of current applications of MATLAB. So MATLAB now they are used for statistics purpose, and machine learning also they have introduced. So in machine learning, you can find MATLAB for curve fitting applications. In control system, you can find out signal processing. A comfortable, or you can say a well-known field is signal processing, image processing, neural network. Then MATLAB find applications in mapping also. A subset of, you can say, artificial intelligence or neural network is deep learning. So MATLAB find applications in deep learning also, financial analysis, image processing, text analysis, so many applications. Even design of electrical vehicles is also possible with the help of MATLAB. MATLAB software is also used by aerospace scientists, and for processing of speech and all those things. So I can say that this MATLAB software is now not limited to engineering applications. Even it has acquired much strength in field of biology also, statistics also, physics also, chemistry also. Everywhere you can find its applications. So let me start with my presentation. Mr. Suresh? Hello,
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Ah,
Can you give me permission to share my screen?
Definitely, sir. Please share your screen, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me brief you about the MATLAB. So MATLAB basically stands for Matrix Laboratory. Since MATLAB accepts everything as matrix, so we can say that MATLAB is a short form of matrix. This particular software was initially written in C language. Now a combination of languages are there which are used for maths for MATLAB. So this particular software was initially written in C language by Maxwell, and this software was commercially available from 1984, almost 36 years back. But as of now, you can see that 4 million users, I can say 4 million registered users are there of MATLAB. So see, although the software is 36-year-old, but still it is gaining much more popularity in popularity for academicians, for scientists, for researchers. So this software is very useful. This software is considered to be high performance language or a tool for technical computing. Few of the applications are mentioned here. Means MATLAB can be used to find out mathematical or to solve mathematical operations, and it can be useful for computation tasks. You can even design and execute your algorithms. MATLAB is also useful for modeling purpose, simulation purpose, and design prototype design. Now basically data scientists, engineers, they are using this software for data analysis, exploration, and visualization purpose. It has excellent graphics, and this software is also used for scientific engineering graphics. Along with that, API is the advantage of this MATLAB. Means you can it support excellent graphical user interface through which you can compile your code and you can see input and output at the same moment. So along with these advantages, there are a few disadvantages also associated with this MATLAB software. So the first disadvantage is that it is considered to be interpreted language, and hence it is a little bit slow. And the second disadvantage of this MATLAB software is that it is a little bit costlier, and in terms of C and traditional languages, it is 5 times more costlier than MATLAB. But if you talk of a specific toolbox, then MATLAB is not so costly. You can even buy online also. Student versions are also there, which you can purchase easily. So these are the advantages and disadvantage of MATLAB. Now let me tell you a brief about this MATLAB. So as I told you that the MATLAB started its journey, commercial journey in 1984, and the first version which was released at that time was 1 dot or 1.0 we can say. And now recently in March 2020, Maxwork has launched the MATLAB 9.8 version. So people are getting confused with this MATLAB version and what is written here. Here is the release version, and here this is called as the MATLAB version. So MATLAB 9.8 version is the recent version, which is released in year 2020. This software is very easy to use. I can say that if you are using this software for mathematical purpose, just to solve the mathematics, so it will be as simple as like your calculator. But if you go for complex coding, then it will be a little bit difficult, but it is not so difficult as compared to other technical languages. Beauty of this MATLAB software is that it is in a platform independent. Platform independent means you can run this software on your Windows 7, Windows 10, XP also support, Vista also supports. So any operating system supports this MATLAB. Even you can run old versions of MATLAB. You can execute or you can install on a 32-bit processor also, and new versions you can install on 64-bit processors. MATLAB has a MATLAB coder, and it helps you to execute programs which are written in other languages in MATLAB environment, and vice versa is also true. Even if you have something written in MATLAB code, you can transfer that code to other languages. As I already told you that it has a powerful GUI, and the best part of this MATLAB software is that it has a large collection of toolboxes or inbuilt functions. So these toolboxes are inbuilt functions. They carry a lot of functions which will make your task very easy. Already some functions are there. What you can do, you can utilize those functions in your program and you can see the result. You need not to write those programs additionally. So you can use these toolboxes, and these toolboxes are designed on the basis of their tasks. So let me tell you a few toolboxes, like toolbox like audio toolbox is there, speech processing toolbox is there, signal processing toolbox is there, neural network, machine learning, deep learning. So depending upon control system is there, Simulink is there. So depending upon your area and area or domain in which you want to work, you can install that particular toolbox. So here I would like to add one more thing. While installing the MATLAB, some people are installing all the toolboxes, even though those toolboxes are not relevant to them. In that case also they used to install. So if you install all the toolboxes, this will make your system slow. So my suggestion is that if you want to work in a DSP toolbox, a digital signal processing toolbox, try to install or please install the toolboxes which are relevant to you, means DSP, and which are related to DSP. So DSP toolbox, it has nothing to do with Simulink. So you can skip that Simulink toolbox. Even deep learning. So if you want to work in DSP domain, you can remove that deep learning toolbox. But if you want to work in deep learning toolbox, or in that case, some of the features of DSP toolbox you may use in case of deep learning uh, toolbox. So in that case, you need to install DSP as well as deep learning toolbox. So my suggestion is that try to install the toolboxes which are related and relevant for your domain. Now basically MATLAB consists of five components. These components are language, environment, graphics, library, and application program interface. So language, as I told you, that it consists of high-level matrix language. MATLAB accepts everything in the form of matrix. Matrix are arrays. Arrays are one-dimensional, matrix are two-dimensional, I can say. Then comes environment. MATLAB supports or provides a dynamic way of writing your programs. Even you can write your programs in command window, or you can write programs in editor, or you can write programs somewhere else and you have to copy all those programs to editor and then you can execute. Accordingly, you can see your results either in the command window or some external device also you can see. So even for input also, you can connect your MATLAB, or you can connect input device to your system, and through MATLAB you can take input from the external input device. And again, similarly, if you want to take output to some external device, you can connect that device to your system, and through MATLAB environment you can print or you can draw your output on that output device. It has excellent graphics, means I can say that visualization, you can visualize your output either in 2D or 3D form, or even in video form also, depending upon your requirement. Library here refers to toolboxes, functions, so it has used list or inbuilt library which you can use, and it will definitely make your task very easy. And as I told you that it supports various programs also. So if your program is, I mean to say that programs are written in C, Fortran, Java, Python, you can you can import these programs to MATLAB, and from MATLAB also you can export MATLAB programs to these programming languages. So this makes tasks very easy. Even if you have some program written in C and you want to compile that program in MATLAB environment, you can call that program and you can execute and you can see the output. So it is not a complete isolated software. It supports multi programming languages also. Now once you have installed the MATLAB and you have created a shortcut to desktop, Then after opening the desktop shortcut, you'll be getting this type of window. So here you can see a very basic window. In this basic window, you can see this particular portion is called as command window, where we used to write or even we can write here small functions or a script, and we can see output here also. If you want to see the output, you can see here. This is your workspace where your variables are stored. Basically, from whatever you are writing here, it will be stored here. And this is your command history. Even if you have not saved your program, you can go to command history and you can retrieve all your programs. And this is the variable list. So I will also go for practical after 2-3 slides. So we'll see. So here basically we used to write our short programs. Short means 2-3 lines program we can write here, and we can see its size by its class, etc. in this workspace. So one thing I would like to add here is that if you are working, please try to save everything in your current folder. Suppose you are working in field of signal processing, and in signal processing you want to call some function, and in that function you want some data. So that data is stored somewhere else, and you are calling that function. In that case, you will not be getting output. So if your function consists of 4 sub functions along with data, so try to keep everything in the current workspace or current directory. Then only it will work. Otherwise, you will be getting error. Now, variables. This is already those who are compatible with MATLAB, they can easily recognize these things. But here I would like to add one thing, that that the best part of this MATLAB is that we don't have to declare the variables, and see how beautifully simply it is like a calculator. Whatever we are typing in calculator, simply we have written here and we are getting the result. This is also the same case. This is also the product example. So if you want to see the output, it has to be there should not be any semicolon. You can see here. But if you don't want to see the output, then terminate that statement by a semicolon. So what happens actually when we are writing small programs and we want to see whether our program is correctly executed or not. So better to remove this semicolon. In that case, it will be executed and output will be displayed, and you can check at that moment only whether your program is correct or not. Now, every time whenever you are going to laboratories, you all are asked to write the 3 statements in the beginning. That is CLC, clear all, close all. So CLC refers to it will clear your command window. Whatever you have done in the command window, that will be cleared, that will be removed. If you will not, suppose you have not done this one, you have not written this as CLC or clear or close all, then what will happen? Suppose I am writing a program to add 2 numbers, and my numbers are X and Y. So if I will take simply write Z is equal to X plus Y. So whatever the value X and Y was given earlier, it will by default take that values and it will produce the output. But my intention is not that. I want to work on new data, new X and Y. So every time whenever you are using MATLAB, my suggestion is that please try to write these 3 lines in the beginning itself. CLC. So CLC will clear your command window. Clear all will clear your workspace. Workspace refers to this one. See, this one is your no, here it is not workspace. I will let you know where is workspace. So workspace means current variables. You can see current variables, where you can see current variables. So that will be your workspace. And if you have already opened some figures, in that figure, that all those figures will be closed by using close all. Now let me move to the MATLAB to do a simple exercise here. Just let me know. So here the MATLAB is, you can see, this is MATLAB. So this is editor where we can write the programs. I will tell you how to bring this editor. Now this is my command window. This is my workspace, and this one is current folder. So see current folder where I have kept everything. It is my program. It is my program. It is my data CSV format. It is my data only. So here you can see everything I have kept here. Now this workspace where we used, where our variable will be stored. So let me write first three lines CLC, sorry, CLC. So it will clear the command window. See, now my command window is cleared. But please remember that whatever we did in the past, that will be stored in the command history. Now clear all. Clear all. So see here, this is my workspace. Whatever I have done earlier, that is saved. With the help of this clear all command, it will be cleared. Now, if suppose there was a figure or a window figure was there, then if I will write close all, it everything will be closed. But unfortunately, here there is no window. So let me take one variable x is equal to. Let me take one array. One. Yeah. So this is my one array. So I have written in the command window. See, after executing this one, a variable is stored in the workspace. Now, if I want to see what is that variable actually, so by clicking here, you can see the details about the variable. So this is the detail. You can see it is 1 cross 4. Double is its size and its value are 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me close this one. Yeah. So sometimes when we are working for precision, means we want our output to be 5-digit, or we want our output to be in 16 digits, then in that case we have to use these two commands, short and long. So let me write x is equal to 5. Just wait. X is equal to 1.523456789. Now this is my number. So up to 5 digits it is showing, means my format is set to 5 only. Now let me write. Let me write long. Just wait. Just getting some. Just wait. So it will come. Let me. Okay. Meanwhile, it will come. I will let you know how. Just wait. It is not coming. Okay. I will let you know how to fix this one. So sometimes what happens, we need. Uh, Yeah. Sometimes we want our output to 16 digits long, means we want accurate data. In that case, we need to put this, we need to have this long format. And when we want 5 digits only in our output, then in that case we have to put short. Unfortunately, I am not able to show this one. Uh, okay, I will let you know how to bring this one later on. So now, so MATLAB help. So MATLAB help will help you to find out the details about the variables which we have used. So here, let me go to again the MATLAB. So we have written x. Sorry, we have already provided x, value of x. Now, if I will write whose x, it will produce you the details related to x. Means what was that variable, what was its size, how much byte it consumed, and what was its class. So sometimes when we are dealing with data, this is very important to know the characteristic of that data. If you know the characteristic of that data, then only you can run your program successfully. If you don't know the characteristic, for example, you have taken some code from internet and you want to run that code. So in that case, if your data is if your data is not in suitable format, then definitely it will be giving you error. So first thing, or I can say that MATLAB accepts everything in the form of matrix. So in order to learn MATLAB or in order to understand MATLAB clearly, you need to focus over the data first. What is data first means its size, its size, its class, and how we are representing that data. How we are representing that data means, suppose x is equal to my, here again x is equal to, it is my matrix one, or I can say it is a array, it is an array. So x is equal to this one. Now suppose I have taken its transpose, x is equal to x transpose. Let it be x1, x transpose. Now whose x. See here x is, our size is 1 cross 4, 32 byte double. But if you talk about x1, its size is different. So while working with MATLAB, if you change anything which is related to data, definitely that will put you into the trouble. So better to first analyze and see the data which is required for that particular program, in which format they are requiring. Because everything, whether it is a script or function, you have to provide input. And if your input is not in suitable format, then definitely you are going to be in trouble. So first try to understand the input, or the characteristic of input which they are asking. Now, once you have understood the input, then we can move for help commands also. For example, suppose you want to perform uh, convolution. Let me write convolution. So, how to perform convolution in MATLAB? So, yes, from somewhere you came to know that CONV is convolution. Is a syntax for doing convolution. Then it will provide you the material related to convolution. So see here, the syntax for convolution is this one. Syntax for convolution is this one. It means I can perform convolution only when, if I have two data, that is A and B, and these two data must be factors. Must be factors. Then only it will produce C. If it is not the case, then it is not going to give us the output. So whenever you have, or you are using any function, inbuilt function, I am asking about inbuilt function. You can just go to help and type that particular keyword. You will be getting details related to that particular function. Now suppose I am working in the field of image processing, but I don't know how to use or how to read the image. So what you can do, you can just go to Google and take help of Google how to read image. Once you came to know that I am read is basically used for reading image, then go to help I am read. It will produce you the information related to image reading. Now see how to use this image I am read to read images. Now, so lots of material. So the other or additional benefit of this MATLAB is that so much of document is there. You can go through the document and you can effectively use those documents to learn your particular domain. So see how so many materials related to I am read is there. So I am moving for the first one only. So here it is written that A is equal to I am read full file name along with that FMT. So you can use this format to read a particular file with a particular format. Now, before using this one, suppose you want to use this format in a different manner. So here one more syntax is there. I am read file name. It attempts to infer the format of the file from its content. So many syntax are there, and depending upon your utility, you can use the given function. Even any type of function, but that must exist into the its library. If it is not there, then it will not produce documents related to that one. Suppose help help. I want to see whether there is there any function related to linear convolution or not. Help linear. So there may be some document related to linear, but that will not be related to linear convolution. See, linear, it creates linear non-linearity estimator object. So in this way, you can take help of this help command to find out whether that particular function exists in its library or not. And if it is not existing, you cannot use that particular function. You have to write that function in your editor, and then you have to save that function. Otherwise, it will produce error. Now, one more command, that is helpdex, is useful, which you can see, which you can use this to see the list of libraries, and you know everything is available in this helpdex. See, once you type the helpdex, everything related to that particular MATLAB version will appear. Now it has Simulink, now 5G toolbox, everything materials related to how to read, how to start your program, everything you can get it from the this help desk. So let me assume that I am completely new to the MATLAB. I have just started the MATLAB. Then I need to go to this MATLAB, getting started. Now from here you can see the basics of MATLAB. Those who are already compatible with MATLAB but they want to do programming, they can go for this programming. So here materials related to scripts, functions, live script functions. You can see how to define classes, files and folder, programming utilities. So let me move to the scripts here. So for scripts, so you can use these functions. You can see the example where how they have used these scripts. You can even run, and even you can run online also. Now MATLAB supports online facility, so you can run these programs online also. So let me go ahead. Now MATLAB supports various types of files. There are basically the files which we engineers are dealing are script files. It is a group of commands and it resides in the base workspace. Function files, they are memory access control parameters passed as input and output arguments, but that is not the case in case of the script files. Reside this MATLAB function files reside in own workspace. Then comes MATLAB files, or you can say a binary or text files. This is basically used to store your data. MEX file or MATLAB executable files are through this you can run C and Fortran and other language programs. ENG files run M files from C and other language programs. C codes or compiler codes are generated by the MATLAB compiler, and sometimes you can find out P codes also. Those P codes are protected code. You cannot run those codes in your system, and even you cannot see the output. You could not run that one. I mean to say that. Now, being an engineer, 1, 2, 3. Mostly we are using 1, 2, 3. Those who are comfortable with other languages, they are using 4 and 5. And even MATLAB compiler and some, highly secured organizations, they are using these P codes. Some suppose you want to you have done something which you want to get patent, so you can provide your code. You can protect your code with the help of these P codes. The process of producing protected codes and that C codes, CNG, makes files, everything is available on the internet. You can easily learn and you can write that one. So basically, being an engineer, we are supposed to deal with these two types, script files and function M files. Every time students are asking questions about this script file and function file. So please remember that a script file, group of commands reside in base workspace, whereas function files, memory access control, and these two things these M files require input and output arguments. Now let me tell you, this is the materials related to the script and functions. I am not going into the detail of this one. 2, 3 things are important. So let me tell you how to create a function from a script. So a script is nothing but it is a set of instructions which we want this MATLAB to execute. So this is a short program which I have taken from the internet only. So let me, this is a program to create square numbers, to generate square numbers. So if it is n, means it will generate n square numbers. So for example, suppose n is equal to 3, so it will generate a square of 1, square of 2, square of 3. If it is if n is equal to 4, it will generate a square of 1, a square of 2, 3, and 4. So let me first create a script file, and then I will move to function. So this is my command window, MATLAB. Let me go for a new one. So here I need to write a program that will find out the square. So first step is to write CLC, then clear all, then close all. Then I have to define the n. So let us consider n is equal to 5. Then a loop I is equal to 1. It will start from 1 and it will move to 5. Then what it will do, it will find out output. So let us write O only. O is nothing but it is a variable, and it will find out I into I. I don't want to see the output, and this is the end. Now I want to see the output, so I have written here O. So let me run this program. So select this one. Let us evaluate. Now it is producing the output. So this is called as a script file, because this is reside in the main memory, its own memory, first thing. And second one is what I told you. It do not accepts input argument, nor they produce or output arguments. I will this thing will become more clear. So here this is our data. It has considered this as data, and it has produced this data. So this is our simple program. Now, if you want to convert this program into a function, first thing is to remove this one. Remove this one. Then we need to define the function. So here is my function definition. What will be my output? My output is O. So my output, my function name. So function name is SQR. Let me write. SQR is nothing but it is a square, and it will accept one input, and that input is nothing but it is n. Now this is my function. So I have to remove this one because it will accept input and it will produce the output. But in previous case, in the case of a script, this was not the case. So here will this function will ask for the input and will produce the output. Two important things I would like to add here, that you have to run this one first. Let me run it. Once you run this one, it will ask you to save this file. So very important, and even I can say the most important thing is that whatever function name you have chosen, it has to be stored with the same name here. If you change the name, you will be in trouble. You will not be getting the correct output. So please don't change the name. Please don't change the name. First thing. And while selecting this name, please remember that it should not or it must not start with a number. Like 1 square, 2 square, it should not be like that one. Anything you can append at the last, but not in the beginning front. So let me save this one. Once you run this one, it will produce you error. It will produce you error because you have not given the, sorry, here I need to write and since I have written 5, that's why it is taking 5. Now it will not produce you the error because you have not given the input arguments. So it will ask for the input argument. Now how to use this function? Simply you can write, let us take p is equal to 5 and SQR. This is the function name and input is p. Even though I can take n also, but here you can take p also. So p. So it is producing the output. So now this is a function. So suppose you want to create any function, then in order to create the function, first you have to make that function as a script. So first make the function as a script. From script, you can easily convert them into function. And even if you have a function, this is now a function. This is now a function. You can make this as a script by simply removing this term, adding this one, and you can provide here input. Again, it will work. Yeah, it will again work. So you can play with this function and script. So in case of function, you need to provide input as well as you can see output. But in case of a script, there will not be an input, and it will not input will not be additionally provided to a script. So let me modify this function. Now this is a function, one function. Let me add something more to this. It will be having, it will produce one more variable, that is p, and that p is equal to nothing but it is q plus r simple. So I want this function to perform a square as well as addition of two numbers. So what changes I have to make here? Since my output is p also along with o and my output is p, so here I will be getting two output. So accordingly, my output will be 2. Now input, previously input was n. Now here again we need to provide input as q and r. So my two other inputs are q and r. Now let me run this one. See. Let me run this one. Now it is giving us error because n is not defined. So if you provide now input, all the three inputs, you will be getting outputs. So let me check. Let me provide n is equal to 2, q is equal to 3, and r is equal to 4, and SQR and QR. Even if you change these variables and QR, it will work. So what was our n is equal to 2, so square is 1 and 2, and q and r was equal to 3 and 4, so its sum is p, so p is equal to 7. You can see here the result. Here it is the result. So in this way you can create functions, and from scripts you can create function, and from function you can create a script. But please remember, your data must be in the correct format. If you change the data, definitely your output will be different. For example, suppose in this case only, let me write n is equal to, let me write n is equal to 1 2 3. Instead of single number, I have changed this n. And yeah, and let me consider p is equal to an array 1 2, only an array. Now if I want, I am giving this as input, and I expect my this function to perform the output. So this will not perform because our, sorry, this would not produce the correct result because our data is different, in different format. See, sometimes it is producing, sometimes it will not produce. Let me write here. Sometimes it is producing because since the data is in format, so it is producing, but it will be giving you incorrect result. So please be careful while providing the input. If your input is correct, then only you will be able to get the correct results. Let me move ahead. So this is about the scripts and functions. Now the general procedure which I wanted to tell you, that please uh, please do not start your function name by a number or an underscore. It can be at the end, but not in the beginning. For one more thing, you must have to remember that the function must be in the same library. If it is not in the same directory, it will again produce error. All the variables must be provided with the same dimension. Means I am specifically saying that if your dimension is different, then definitely you will be getting error. Don't change inbuilt functions. Here this is again very much important. Sometimes or in previous versions you are allowed to change the inbuilt functions. See, as for example, suppose conv is used for convolution. So if you have changed this conv to conv1, then definitely there, because the name of the function you have changed, so it will not, if someone is calling that function conv, but you have changed its name to conv1, so that function will not be exist in that particular library, and hence he or she will be getting error. So please don't change the inbuilt functions. You can play with your own functions, but don't change the inbuilt functions. Sorry. Now let me move ahead. So second portion which I have chosen for this particular webinar is that differential equations. Two things I left, I will cover in between. So differential equations means it is a variation of one quantity with respect to other. So basically, we have two parameters. One is called as dependent, and second one is called as independent. For example, in case of Ohm's law, what we can say that I is proportional to V. So I is proportional to V. V here refers to that V is independent quantity. Independent means it can exist independently, whereas this I is dependent quantity. Dependent quantity refers to that the value of this current is dependent upon the value of voltage. But vice versa is not true. We can say that that V is not proportional to I. So, and because of this reason only, you cannot buy a current source from the market. Even you can buy a voltage source, battery, etc. from the market, but you cannot get a current source, because current has to be generated from the potential difference. So potential difference is the independent quantity, whereas current is the dependent quantity. So likewise, there will be, if there will be variation in the dependent quantity with respect to independent quantity, then that we call as there is some change in that particular parameter. For example, variation in the physical quantities such as temperature, change in the temperature with respect to time, or change in the pressure with respect to time, or with respect to distance, or with respect to space, is represented in the form of differential equations. So I have taken a very simple example here. It is important for engineers to able to model physical problems like mathematical equations and then solve three equations so that the behavior of system can be studied. So I have taken a simple RL circuit. In this RL circuit, you can see one resistor is there, one inductor is there, and one input source is there. So according to Kirchhoff's voltage law, input voltage is equal to sum of other two voltages, that is VR plus VL. Now, what is VR? VR is the voltage across the resistor, and VL is the voltage across the inductor. So that I have written. Now, V in, input voltage, that is equal to voltage across the resistor is equal to IR plus voltage across the inductor is equal to L di upon dt. Now, in order to find out the current I, see from this expression, this expression, we have derived a relation, that is current. Now, current here is a dependent quantity for this particular system I am talking. So for this particular system, current is a dependent quantity and its value is dependent upon the time, or I can say that current is changing with respect to time. Now we are going to find out the current in this circuit, which is a function of time, So being an electrical and electronics engineer, you have studied time transient analysis. So you can apply KVL equations and you can solve those KVL equations to get the current I, or even you can apply Laplace equations also. So you can find out the current I. Here, what I am going to do, I am going to find out the solution using MATLAB, because even with MATLAB you can find out solution, or even complex solutions also. With the help of this MATLAB software, you can find out the solution of complex differential equations also. So here our intention is to find out the I with respect to dt. I is our dependent variable and t is our independent variable. So for this purpose, MATLAB has one inbuilt toolbox, that is ordinary differential equation toolbox, or this is not a toolbox, we can say that this is inbuilt function. So an ODE is an equation that contains one independent variable. As I told you, this independent variable, mostly in case of your network analysis, it is time, and in case of EM waves, electromagnetic waves, it is space. It may be with respect to x, it may be with respect to y, it may be with respect to x, or sorry, z, or it may be with respect to x, y, z, and t, with respect to that of dependent variable. So in time domain, ODE refers to ordinary differential equations, are initial value problems. So initial value problem means a system or a problem which has some initial value, previous initial value. So previous initial value we have to consider. We have to consider the previous initial value. If we are not considering the previous initial value, then in that case our result will not be correct normally. So by considering the initial value, we can estimate the correct current or voltage or power, anything in the circuit. So initial condition in case of this ordinary differential equation refers to the specific parameter at t is equal to 0, or x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, or z is equal to 0. So let me now explain how to solve these expressions. So here you can see one simple expression, that is dy upon dx. Please see this expression is nothing but it is dy upon dx. dy upon dx. So ordinary differential equation toolbox consists of a D solver. D solver basically refers to a solver for differential equations. So we will be using this D solver to express the differential equation. Now see what I am doing here. Y is equal to D solve. D solve is is an inbuilt function. D solve. Now it has to be written in single quotes. See dy. Just see the dy upon dx. So here capital D refers to dy, differential equation. Dy. Now dy is equal to y into x or x into y, whatever you want, you can write x into y. So x star multiplication star y, it has to be in single quotes. And since my differentiation is with respect to x, here I have written x. But if it is with respect to t, you need not to write here t, because by default, this solve will assume everything as dependent upon time only. So if it is dy upon dt is equal to xy, then it will be simply capital dy is equal to y into x or x into y. That's all. So if we, this is another form of writing the same thing. So let me run this one. So I have expressed the differential equation. See, I have expressed the differential equation dy upon dx is equal to xy. So let me go to the MATLAB. Let me go to the MATLAB. Then I have simply copied that statement and paste here. So see, y is equal to d solve dy upon dx. After writing that expression, I got the solution. My solution is y is equal to c3 e raised to x square upon 2. This is the solution. Or I can write for this particular differential equation dy upon dx is equal to x into y. For this, my solution, that is y is equal to c3 or any variable, any constant, let it be k into e raised to x square upon 2. This is my solution. So with a single step, I can get the solution. So this is the additional advantage of this MATLAB, that you can solve or you can verify your differential equation what you have solved in your numerical analysis subject or EMF subject. You can get its solution within 2 or 3 lines. Other way of writing the same program is that instead of defining this D solve in instead of defining this expression in D solve, you can externally define externally define. So for example, suppose I have written here equation 1 is equal to whatever I have written here, same thing is kept here. Same thing is kept here. Now y1 is equal to same expression, same question. Y1 is equal to D solve. Here, since I have kept everything in single quote, you need not to keep here single quote. And this differentiation has to be performed with respect to x. That's why here x is mentioned. Now let me again copy this one. Let me paste here. Same solution again. Sorry, let me copy again. Copy. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot to copy that equation, because this has to be considered first. Now, let me write in any editor window. See, so equation 1 I have written, and then y1 is equal to D solve, same expression. Let me again the same solution we are getting. So this is different way of writing the differential equation. Now suppose initial value is also provided. Initial value for the expression for that particular differential equation is also provided. Dy upon dx is equal to xy and y0 is equal to 1. Initial value is given as y0 is equal to 1. So if y0 is equal to 1, then what will happen? we in that case we can use the same solver by defining its initial value. So see here in my y2 expression, in my y2 expression, here this is equation number 1. Let me enlarge this one. This is equation number 1, what is defined here, and this is similar to, this is exactly equal to this one. Now initial value y0 is equal to 1. This is initial value, and with this is with respect to x. So let me now run this one by providing the initial value. Now since before providing the initial value I was getting this constant c3, now I have provided the initial value. So let me check what we are getting. So the value of initial or C3 constant is coming as 1, because initial value we have given here as 1. So even if you know the initial conditions also, then also you can find out the solutions to ordinary differential equations. Ordinary refers to simple derivatives. Ordinary refers to simple derivatives. Now here, since we have calculated the or we have got the solution, but we want its plot, response, what you can say, response. So in order to find out the response, you must have the x-axis as well as y-axis. So this is nothing but this is actually expression for y, but plot it must be with respect to x only, because here dy upon dx is there. So we need to first define x. So definition of x can be done in this way. So here what we are providing a definition of x. So definition of x means we have defined x here. So define x here. Let me write here. Now what it will do? It will line space. Uh, it will be a range of 0. It will be x-axis will be in between 0 and 1, and in between 0 and 1 there will be 20 samples or 20 discrete points. 20 discrete points. So now 0 is my first point and 1 is my last point, and in between I will be having 18 points. So let us check whether it is correct or not. Yeah, so here you can see that my first point is 0 x, my first point is 0 and last point is 1, and in between I have 18. So whenever you want to divide any range into a fixed number of discrete points, you can use this line space. Now I have x-axis. Corresponding to this x-axis, I want this y2. I want this y2. So we have t, time domain axis. Here in this case it is x. Now we want to plot y2. So we must have to find out the value of y2 at these discrete instants. At these discrete instants, we have to find out the value of y2. So we can find out the value of y2 by using this expression. Evaluate, vectorize, it will convert into strings. So let me write here. Vectorize y2, it will convert into strings, and then it will find out the value of y2, the value of this function evaluate. It will find out the value of y2 at these discrete instants. At these discrete instants. Let me run this one again. Let us see. So at those discrete instants, we got the value. Now let us plot the x and z. X we know that it is up to 0, it is from 0 to 1. In between 20 discrete samples are there. Accordingly, we have z. Let us now plot. So let me plot. I assume that all you are comfortable with labeling of plots and everything. So I'm not going for labeling. Labeling you can do by code also. Here you can write X label, Y label, and title everything. Otherwise, you can insert label here also. X label you want to insert, you can insert here X label. X label is anything you can insert. X space, let me write. Write X space. Similarly, you can write insert your Y label also. Y label. Let me write Y space. Y space. Now insert, you can insert your title, you can insert legend also, you can insert color bar also, everything you can insert depending upon your requirement. So I'm not going into the detail, but here those who are already comfortable with this MATLAB and they are doing some research, for them my suggestion is that do not copy this particular figure in your research paper, because the clarity of this paper, this particular figure will be less. And you know, good journals are asking for highly high resolution images. So my suggestion is that make it first make it large, make your figure window large, then go for uh, export setup, then go for export setup. In this export setup, go for rendering, and here in case of resolution, you can increase its resolution to maximum resolution 600, then apply, and then OK. So if you copy this figure, its clarity will be much more greater as compared to the previous image. So please follow these steps if you are using MATLAB for your research purpose, or you have done something and you want to submit something, your result either to research journals or thesis. Then my suggestion is that, again I am saying you, in order to enhance the quality of images in MATLAB, go to export setup, then go to rendering, and from rendering set the DPI 600, and then take apply to figure, and then select OK. Then the clarity of image will be much higher. So this is how you can get the solution of simple first order linear differential equations. Now let me move ahead. Now here you can see second order differential equation. Here you can see dy upon d square y upon dx square plus 8 dy upon dx plus 2 y is equal to cos x. Cos x here refers to the function of x. Everything is a function of x, and initial values are also given. That is y0 is equal to 0 and dy upon dx is equal to 1. So for this particular type of differential equation, we can use the same syntax whatever we did in the previous slide. Same thing we are going to do once again. Please see this quickly. So equal is nothing but it is my variable, and this is equal to, see the first expression. The first expression is equal to d square y upon dx square. So d here refers to capital D, dy. So d square, this is nothing but d square y plus 8 dy upon dx. So 8 dy, a capital D refers to dy, differentiation, plus 2y is equal to cos x, is equal to cos x. Then initial value are also defined. So I have taken another condition, another variable initial, which will help you, which is nothing but it will indicate the initial value. So initial value is equal to y0 is equal to 0, and dy upon dx, that is y dash 0 is equal to dy upon dx at x is equal to 0 is equal to 1. So dy0 is equal to 1. Now I have used the same differential function dsolve. See, this is not in the single quote because it is already defined. Initial is also not in the single quote as compared to previous. Here it was in single quotes. Now it is not in single quotes, and this differentiation has to be done with respect to x. That's why here x is indicated. If it is not with the dependent upon x, then you can simply ignore this one. Everything again, I want to plot that solution, this y solution from 0 to 1, and so that's why this x is varying from 0 to 1, and it will have 20 samples. Then z is equal to evaluation of this y over this x, evaluation of this y over this x. It will calculate and then it will plot. So let me copy this program and let us see. Yeah. So once again, see, my differential equation was d square y upon dx square plus 8 dy upon dx plus 2 y is equal to cos of x. Initial conditions are y0 is equal to 0 and dy upon dx is equal to 1. Then we have used the dsolve function. Dsolve function is inbuilt function, and we have provided the inputs, initial value, equation we have provided, initial condition we have provided, and differentiation has to be done with respect to x. That's why this is. Then we want our signal or our response from 0 to 1. That's why this we have done it. And in between this 0 to 1, there will be 20 discrete samples. So these discrete samples or instants, we want our y. So that y at these 20 instants, we have assigned a variable z, and then we have plotted. Let us see the result. So this is how we have plotted. See, our curve is starting from, our response is starting from the 0 and it is going up to 1, and this is the response. You can find out the response, or even you can find out its value at any instant of time by simply inserting a data cursor also. Just wait. Data cursor also. So here, suppose I want to find its value at 0.6, so you can find out its value as 0.6. No, not 0.6. At 0.63158, its magnitude or the solution of that expression, the value is 0.17023. Similarly, if you want to find out its magnitude at 0.2, so here you can find out it is not 0.2. You can extend it to. Just wait. Just wait. It is 2 at 0.2.1, its value is 0.11381. So accordingly, you can find out the value. So in this way, you can use this ordinary differential equation or the ODE toolbox of MATLAB to solve differential equations. Even you can use this to solve numerical differential equations also. So let me move ahead. Here you can see 3 different equations, 3 independent variables, and 3 dependent variables and 1 independent variable. So 3 dependent equations are x, y, and z, and the value of this x, y, z depends upon the value of t, and there is some relation in between these variables also, x, y, and z. So in order to solve differential equation of this kind, same procedure has to be followed. Now if you look at the expression carefully, here is our equation number 1. Equation number 1 is nothing but it is x upon dt. Dx upon dt is equal to x plus 2y minus z. First differential equation. Second differential, if you look at this one, so this is equal to dy is equal to x plus z. And third differential equation is equal to dz is equal to 4x minus 4y plus 5z. And initial conditions are also specified. The initial condition I have kept here as x0 is equal to 1, y0 is equal to 2, and z0 is equal to 3. Everything has to be kept under a single variable that is called as initial. Now we are using the same dsolve function. So dsolve function, here you see dsolve function, the equation number 1, this is equation number 2, this one is equation number 3. initial condition. If you don't want to keep here initial, what you have to do, you have to write everything in single quotes here. Now, since this differential equation, in this differential equation, independent parameter is t, or this differential equation consists of time differentiation. That's why here we have skipped. Here we have skipped that variable. Otherwise, in previous cases, you have seen that here something x was written, because here differentiation was with respect to x, but here it is with respect to t. That's why no x is there. Now again line space. So this will plot from 0 to 0.5, and in between 0 to 0.5 it will be having 25 instants. Now it will calculate desolve. Since three differential equations, you will be having three different solutions. One is for x, second one is for y, and third one is for z. So this x with respect to t, this y with respect to t, and this z with respect to t. So whatever we are getting is here is the solution in the form of x, y, z. Now we want to plot this x, y, z. So this time we have considered. So we want its response in the interval of 0 to 0.5. So in the interval of 0 to 0.5, we have selected 25 instants, and for these 25 instants, we have calculated its x value, which is nothing but the value of this x at these 25 instants, xx. Similarly, value of y at these 25 instants is represented here as yy, zz. Then we have the plot t with respect to xx, t with respect to yy, t with respect to zz. So let me wait. Let me go to run this program. So we have here defined the equations. Let me run this one so that we can see what are x, y, and z. So here you can see the expression for z. Since we have already provided the initial conditions, so the solution for z is equal to 10 e raised to 3t minus 12 e raised to 2t plus 5 e raised to t, whereas you can see y 5 e raised to 3t upon 2 minus 3 e raised to 2t plus 5 into e raised to t upon 2, like that. So for every x, y, z you got everything you got. And now we want its a response. So response, we need to put this one. So this is our curve. So this curve shows the value of x, y, and z, which we have computed, and it is in the interval of 0 to 0.5. You can change this time span depending upon your requirement. You can change the time span. Now let me move to the next section. Now another way of solving the differential equations, we can use the inbuilt function ODE. So MATLAB, sorry, MATLAB has several different functions, inbuilt functions to solve ODE problem, ordinary differential equations. These solvers can be used with the following syntax. So output is equal to function handle and inputs, and then t state solver. Solver is a function itself, and here you need to define the function. This definition of the function will be with respect to the differential equation. Then whatever we did that for this line space t span, that is the t span initial conditions. Here we need to specify the initial conditions and option a vector for initial conditions. This is basically used for accuracy problem, up to what extent you want your system or equation to be accurate. Accordingly, you can choose this option. So IC we know initial conditions. T span we know that previously it was used through line space, and D state refers to the function definition. Function definition, this refers to the function definition. And then solver, there are 4 different types of, not 4, 7 to 8 solvers are there. You can use these solvers. So here you will be getting the independent variable, and state means it's a response. So you can use this response to find out the output. So let me go for the let me move ahead. So here you can see the numerical solutions to ODE. So we can use ODE 45. These are actually inbuilt functions to solve ordinary differential equations. ODE 45, ODE 23, ODE 112, ODE 15. Depending upon your accuracy or level of accuracy you want, you can use in your program. So basically, for general purpose, we are using ODE 45, and for highly accurate and intensive problems means where you can find out large variation in the data, there you can use ODE 112. So general procedure is that what you have to do, you have to define the length of the response, means up to what extent you want response, then initial conditions, options in the inbuilt function which are set up for ODE, means I mean to say that here you have to describe the differential equation, define the constants and derivatives in another file or as a function within the file F1. This thing will be more clear when we will move to our next slide. Then run F1. F1 is this one, and plot the results. So the what we are going to do, we are going to divide the whole program of solving this ordinary differential equation into two portions. One that will be having derivation portion, and second that will be having initial condition portion. So derivation portion along with initial condition portion together we will keep in a folder, and that folder will produce our result. Let us see. Now, this is our question. So our question is dy upon dt is equal to alpha yt minus gamma yt square. This is our differential equation. Now we need to find out this solution for this differential equation using ODE. So how we can find out? Here you can see initial condition is also given, which is equal to 10. So what I told you that you have to first prepare a differential equation, function for differential equation F2 we need to prepare. So this is our F2. So F2 see dy upon dt, this dy upon dt is equal to any name you can give, any name, and it will be a function of t and y. It will be a function of t and y. Now here we need to provide the alpha and gamma. So alpha we have considered any value you can consider, alpha is equal to 2 or gamma is equal to 0.0001. Now these two values are given. The main problem is that we need to define this function, this derivation. So dy upon dt, see dy upon dt is equal to alpha into y minus gamma y square. So this function definition we have given, and once this function definition we have given, then we need to provide initial conditions and then t span to for plotting purpose. So that function we have called. Now let us move to this. See here F2 we have designed. Now we need to design F1. So F1 is nothing but again a function definition ty. Y will be our final solution, and this is with respect to t. You can provide any name here. Now this function will provide output in the form of t and y. Now t span has to be provided, whatever we have provided in the previous case with the help of line space, that we are providing here with the help of t span. So t span means it will be 0 to 9. Initial condition we have provided. Now ty means output. See here, this is our function definition and this is our output. So ty is equal to ODE 45 we have used. Now at the rate d state. At the rate d state means we are calling this function. At the rate d state means we are calling this function. At the rate d state, then t span is this one, y is initial condition, and then plot ty. So everything we have kept, whatever we did with the D solver, that same thing we did here, but in a different function. We are using the ODE, ordinary differential equation, to solve this expression. Now let me run this one. Yeah, Control V. Now if I will run this one, So it will ask to save this program. Since this is a function, please I am requesting you and suggesting you also that whenever you are saving a function, please save the function by the same name. Here it is called dstate, so it must be saved with the call dstate. If it is not the case, then definitely you will be getting error. So it is already there. Yes, I can refresh. There it is there. It is already in my folder. So let me run this one. same program. Let me. You cannot write two programs with the same name. If it is the case, then the program which is written recently will be considered. So let me remove this one. Let me run this one. What this sorry this is the program. Yes, sorry, this is the program. So this is the program. So here you can see my equation was dy upon dt is equal to alpha y minus gamma y square. For this, I have created a function by providing the by providing the constants value alpha and gamma. This is my expression. This expression we have provided one function, and this function is called in ODE form as by using this format. You can easily find out this format in through Google Help. Now this ODE accepts input as a function name, as tspan, initial condition, along with that initial condition extent of accuracy, which is called as options. So if you run this one, you'll be getting the output. So output is this one is the output. So see, in this case, our t-span was 0 to 9. So accordingly, you are getting the output in between 0 to 9. At 9, it's you can find out its value also. So x is equal to 9. Its value is coming as 1.4 times 9, 52. At any position, you can find out its value. So at x is equal to 6. So x is nothing, but it is actually here in this case, it is showing x, but it is not x, it is actually t. So at t is equal to 6.0331, its value is 19774. Yeah. So this is the one form of using this ODE. Now second form you can use like this one. Let me move ahead. Yeah. So here I have two variables, two differential equations. First one is dy upon dt is equal to yt, and second one is dy y2t upon dy y2 upon dt is equal to 1,000 1 minus d 1 minus y1 square into y2 minus y1. All these expressions are with respect to t. All these expressions are with respect to t. Please forgive me. So here these are the initial conditions. Y1 0 is equal to 0 and y2 0 is equal to 0. So let us see the second function. So here dy upon dt is equal to any function name we can provide. So here I have taken O as C, T and Y. Now in order to, since here we have two differential equations, these two differential equations has to be same, has to be saved in any vector or array. So that's why here we have created a vector or a you can say a matrix or an array with two columns, one row, two columns, one row. So here it is 0. So whatever we will be calculating for these two, that will be stored. So whenever you are dealing with data to be generated later, then what you have to do, you have to create blank matrices or blank vectors, and in that blank vectors, after calculation, you can put the updated data into this vector. So here dy upon dt is nothing but it is a blank vector, or you can say array, and in that array first column will be our y2, first column will be dy upon dt1, this one, and second data will be d y2t upon dt, this one. So here 2 1 refers to it will be having two rows and one column. So let me run this one. It will be more clear. Yeah. I'm simply running this one. So here dy upon dt is now, it consists of 0. It will be having two rows and one column. So first row, first this will be our first value, this one. And what is this? This is dy upon dt is equal to y2. Here it is written. And second value will be for this 0, it will be this one, dy upon dt2 is equal to 1000 into 1 minus y square, y1 square into y2 minus y1. So this we have written. So we have created a function here, and once this function is created, now we are providing the time span. We want from 0 to 3000 samples. Time span is given as 0 to 3000. Initial conditions are also provided. You see, y1 0 is equal to 2, y2 0 is equal to 0. Now we are using ODE 15. You can use any ODE, ordinary differential equation function, but I have used here because I have taken this from examples only. So this is ODE 15, but depending upon your output, if it is more stiff, you can use ODE 15s, and if it is very simple, then you can use ODE 45. Now after using this one, this C, this is the function which we have created here. This is T span, and this one is initial condition, which is given as here. So after running this program, you will be getting the output. So simple output. So here is what we set x is equal to, or t is equal to 0 to 3000. So 0 to 3000, for that 0 to 3000 you are getting this output, y1 and y2. So this is our method of solving differential equations. This in this way you can solve the differential equations, and whatever I told you that you can perform through MATLAB, either through stand-alone system or through online MATLAB also. So online MATLAB is nothing but those who cannot, who are not having good systems or recent or modern systems to install MATLAB, they can go for online MATLAB also. So in case of online MATLAB, what you have to do, you have to sign in mathswork.com, and once you have signed in, you can use that online MATLAB. So online MATLAB is basically similar to your isolated MATLAB system. Isolated means which you have installed in your system. Everything is similar except a few differences. So here are the differences. So before that, let me show you the online MATLAB toolbox. So here you can see the online MATLAB toolbox. Just wait. So whatever we did in today till now, all these things are possible in online MATLAB. So even if you have internet connectivity only, and you have any system, whether it is very old or new, you can go for online also. So through online MATLAB, you can run your programs. You can see your results. I think system is very slow. So it is not getting, just wait. It's very slow, wait. But this online has a certain drawback. The drawback is that online MATLAB cannot interact with most of other hardwares, including instrument control. So this is the drawback with the online MATLAB. Second, but advantage is that you can communicate with Raspberry Pi hardware, and then you can connect USB cams also, webcams also, and some of the packaging tools are applicable in online platform. But if your data is very large, means if it is more than just wait, if it is more than 250 MB, then it will not work. 256 MB, then you cannot upload in online platform. But yeah, this online, I suggest all everyone to use this online. Those who don't have this offline facility, because in online you can learn very easily, because it will directly help you to write your programs in a correct manner. So I think it is now open. Yes, see, this is online platform only. So here you can see this is exactly similar to the MATLAB environment, which is present in my system. Of this is offline, and here it is online. Here you can see the current folder. Here it is the current folder. Here it is the workspace. Even you can see the command history also. You can write your programs. You can create your functions. You can create your scripts. You can call your functions. You can save your functions. Everything. Some of my programs is already here. You can see some of my programs. So this is all from my side now, and even you can use Simulink also to solve differential equations. Simulink is also a very useful tool for basically for anyone can use, but at this moment I cannot tell you about the Simulink. It will, but it is a very useful tool. You can use Simulink, and yes, I am now presently my domain is in signal processing. So here you can see lots of signal. My current field is signal processing. To be in signal processing, I am using machine learning. So machine learning is nothing, but it is a advanced version of neural network. That's all. So if you want to learn MATLAB, my suggestion is that you proceed with the basics. Even if we can write 4 to 5 lines of program successfully, then it will give us some confidence. But even don't be proud that you know everything, because even in a single mistake in your single line code, or even that transpose will put you in trouble. So everything, it will be clear only with the practice only. So that's all from my side. So now I request everyone to suggest me, and if you have any query related to whatever I shared today, you can suggest me, or you can ask any queries if you have. And sorry, actually I was not able to show you that short and long format. I don't know why it is not coming. So I will definitely share my views over this, because I don't know why it is not coming to my system, but once it will come, I will definitely share with you all. So that's all from my side. Now everyone is free to ask questions, even any suggestion if you want, you can give. Yes, anyone?
Okay. Okay. Is there any queries? Okay. Is there any queries? Okay, we'll send the feedback link and PPTs through mail. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Opekash sir. You gave a
Yeah.
wonderful information. And I once again thank you, the principal of AATS Rajampeta and HODs, organization staff, respected representative, and officials of officials of participations and different from different colleges. Thank you and again for making this program as a success. Okay, thank you. Now close this session. We definitely share the PPTs through mails.